This is the process of opening the walls. So at the moment we're on the 1.2 dry lab side. It's just easier to push the panels open from the hinge side rather than pulling them with your fingers inside the gaps on the other side. So I'll start here by unlocking the first panel, clockwise direction, and then we can just pull the tongue and groove out of the gap slightly and then fold the panel by pushing in the middle. Okay, so step 2 is pushing the wall. It's better to push than to pull, so if you put your body weight on your hands flat against the panel and then just push it toward the wall, not too fast because you don't want to damage the plaster. And that's the first 2 panels. Yeah, so this is the third step. You just want to pull the panel out slightly so that you can get to the middle. And then you can push against the hinge in the center like that again, like the first panels. And then if you can't land here, then you can push them in half completely and push them down against the wall. You don't need a lot of force, just make sure it's clear behind each panel as you close it. So this is the last step. This panel is made up of 3 sections. So you want to start by pulling it, weighs a bit more. But once you've got it out of the groove at the end, you can start the folding again. Again, you can just push in the first hinge and all 3 will start to fold. And if you move up to the far end, you can push them along into a kind of concertina in one go. Just make sure people are clear as you're doing this. And then again, you need to use a little bit more force because there are 3 panels, and move it right down to the other end to move flat against the rest. This is the process for opening the wall. It's easier to do this from the dry lab 1.3 side. So I'll come around to this edge of the first panel, and just by pulling that first section, you'll start to get the rest of the 3 panels that are attached to concertina out. Just keep your fingers clear of the hinges here, but if you keep pushing this front panel, that will open completely out. So you just need to get your hand behind these 3 panels for the next step and push that up to the end. By pushing flat against here, you're keeping them locked straight, and then you can angle the groove, the tongue at the end, to fit into the groove against the wall. And you just want that to line up. You might need to give it a little bit of a wiggle to get it into that groove, but once it's in there, you can feel it lock in. So the next step is a 2-panel wall part, and each time you do this, you want to be opening from the side that doesn't have the hinge, just to avoid that risk of pinch point. So yeah, I'll just lift this front panel. As you can see, it'll open out like that. And by getting in behind here and pushing, you can keep it straight and line it up into the groove of the first 3 panels. So this is the last part of putting up the wall from 1.2 and 1.3. I've got the last double section here. As you can see, I'm opening it from the side that doesn't have the hinge again. So if you just lift this out, demonstrate opening the wall now at the rear of the room 1.2 that shares with 1.3. So the main thing that you want to remember with the safe operation of this wall is to push where you can rather than pull to avoid strain. So with the first panel, you just want to pull it out along the track until it stops, and then get behind it and push it rather than pull it. So you'll feel it hit the end of the track there, and again, you just want to get behind it and pull it, push it in the most natural way you can rather than pulling. So that'll spin onto the main track, and then you can push it along until it reaches the channel at the end. demonstrate now the correct way to close the rear wall in 1.2. So this is a single panel wall. What I'll do first is just pull it out of the groove and come around behind the panel and push it along the channel in the top. That way you're not pulling and straining anything. You'll feel it hit the end, just gently, and then again get behind it and push it around the corner. So it spins flat, and then push it again until it gets to the end of that channel, and then push it back against the rest of the other panels in the wall here. Just trying to push as much as you can rather than pull and twist. So now you've seen how to correctly open and close the walls. I just wanted to reiterate, when you are putting the wall away, when the walls are erect here with the panels joined, before you start pushing against the hinge sections to fold them, you do want to make sure that the tongue and groove section between the walls does have a bit of gap so they don't get stuck against each other. What you want to do is just pull those out slightly each time, and then you can push against the hinge section and they'll fold more naturally. So that's the end of the video. The TSS team are always here to help you with this sort of thing. Just remember, don't rush it, don't strain, avoid your fingers between the joints where you can, and if you need any help at all, always call the TSS team to assist.